Hi, Julia.
Hi, André.
We're back.
We're back.
We are
Sorry,
back.
I'm eating some nuts.
No, that's good. You need nuts. Nuts are healthy. That sounded really bad. No, nuts are good. Nuts are good. Walnuts especially. So, this episode we're going to be talking about. We want to continue on the expat topic, right? Because we kind of. Yeah, last episode went really well. It was a longer one, and we didn't really cover all of the topics that we wanted to cover. So there was a couple of other points that we wanted to talk about regarding expat lifestyle, and I think you wanted to ask me how I found life here in Germany after coming from Asia, and I wanted to ask you as well, because you spent a year in the United Kingdom, right? In
Yes.
England, in London.
Yes,
And
near London.
You were quite young. How old were you at that time?
Maidenhead, 17, 18.
Right, so you're very young. I wanted to ask you, how did you find living in London, especially at that age? It's still quite an impressionable age for a young woman.
Yes.
Moving from Spain and spending a year, because you moved there by yourself, right?
I moved back. Okay, the aeroplane bring me there.
Yes, of course, the aeroplane took you there. But my smartass. Yes.
No.
All right.
I don't know, after I was studying in Madrid, I finished my studies. I think I was 18. I'm not really sure, 18, 19. And then I didn't find a work or a practical work what I wanted to do after the study.
In Spain?
In Spain. And then I decided, okay, don't lose the time. I go to England. I learn English because it's always necessary. You can see I was losing my time because my English is not very well.
Your English is fine.
Oh, the year was not really productive, but anyway, I can make a podcast in English. I hope everybody understands me, and if not, I just say sorry. I would like to speak much better English to really say how I feel, and because in English I am a 60% person. I always told you English 60 or 50% who I am. In German, I'm 80%, and in
Spanish, it's 100%, Julia.
And maybe Galician at 101% or 102%.
Yeah, I noticed that with you. When you speak Spanish, you speak at 1,000 miles an hour. It's so fast. And I actually asked you one time, is that normal? Is that how Spanish speak normally with each other? And you said, no, I actually speak very fast anyway.
Yeah.
So, it must be difficult for you. I mean, in German, you speak German as well, but then to for my benefit, you speak English. I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to try to learn Spanish, but I fear that I will never speak Spanish as good as you can speak English.
You don't need it. No. It's a nice language. It's a huge language. Spanish is very,
I think I'd like to learn it. I would love to know it. I think, my eyes have been opened a little bit towards Spain since knowing you. So, Anyway, sorry. So, continue.
This was the reason why I went to England to study English for 1 year, more or less, and then I found a school in Maidenhead, in the Windsor and Maidenhead School. And then my parents sent me there. I think it was in winter. It was very, very cold when I come to England. And so my shock in England, the first moment was driving on the left side.
Yeah.
Because they was pick up me on the airport, the family, and I was shouting all the time in the car because I was thinking we have an accident, And the second shock was at 4:00 it was dark. And Spain normally had the same time like Germany or like all of Europe, but not England. But Galicia, where I'm coming from, it's very late getting dark.
Yeah.
It means when I speaking with my mother in German and we have 7 hours, also 19, my mother has sunny. In Galicia, it's sunny days. It's very, very clear the day, and this is. I was not. For me, was not normal that it's going to be dark so quickly at 4 o'clock, and that's make me a little bit sad. And another thing was the first family where I have been was not so friendly with me. They was really idiots.
Friendly?
To me, yeah.
Friendly. They weren't friendly.
No, they was not.
Okay.
And they were not. And another point was I began to read Hermann Hesse,
Hermann Hesse.
Yes, the Steppery Wolf, I think.
Steppenwolf.
Low Steppery. And it was make me really down all the time. Also England was for me like a sadness poor,
Yep.
in every corner.
Yeah.
And but I met very interesting people, like for example, Mireia was the daughter from the pianist from Montserrat Caballé, from the opera singerin. And we make a little group. I met a little group of people, and we still be together. People from Peru, Mireia from Barcelona, me from Galicia, different persons. It was funny time, but very sad for me too.
Was your first time away from home like that?
No, because I went in Madrid. I was 3 years in Madrid, but Madrid Madrid is like New York. Madrid had a synergy in the city.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to Madrid, never want to go away from Madrid. You want
Yeah.
to stay there and live in there all your life. It's like when you are in New York. There is some cities in the world, they have a very positive energy.
Yeah.
And Madrid was one of those. It's one of those. And in England, I didn't feel so comfortable. The only thing, I am very strong person and I don't get sad or down very, very easy. And for the English people, I can tell you, I didn't learn so much things. They don't transmit me something, I met very nice families, but I met two very, very not so nice families. It's like a mixture persons I met in that age, and I am always very observative. I am.
You're observant.
Yeah, very, very observant person. I learn because I observe so much, and I didn't observe nothing in England who really I said I like that too much, or I was thinking this way of life I like, or no, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel when I'm in England too, to be honest.
It's like for me, it's like it's not my corner.
Yeah.
But the English people, England is beautiful.
Yeah, certainly.
It's a beautiful country.
Yeah.
If you go outside from the cities,
yes,
it's very similar to Galicia, to my corner in Spain. It's very green, it's beautiful. But I don't know, I think I like more Ireland, Scotland, that England. And it was very funny always with the Queen, this enormous belief that the people had in the Queen and in the Queen's family,
in the royal family,
the royal family, and it because I was in Windsor, more. But everything was closed at 10 o'clock in the night. For me, was very strange. I come from Spain, from Madrid, making party until 7 o'clock in the morning on the next day. And then I come in there, and at 10 o'clock was the bars, the pubs was closed
they
because of the Queen.
Yeah,
normally in England was an 11, but there was... And then sometimes I went to London. It was okay. But I don't have, the never had the feeling to come to England again.
To live
or to do something there. It doesn't tell me nothing. No, it's not a country to give me something. I don't know.
Inspiration?
No, nothing. No, nothing.
But it gave you the opportunity to learn English.
Of course.
I mean, that's really how you refined your English, right?
Yes. I just wanted to do that. Yes, because in Spain, you don't learn very good English in that moment. When you have to think, I'm 55 years old. I was born in 66. Spain was in the transition when I started to speak in English.
Yeah.
In the 12th class, I changed from French to English. I didn't have English like now the the children, they have it in the kindergarten, or but very late I start to learn in English, and many things I started late to learn, because I had not the opportunity when I was child. And
well, life is a constant lesson, right? We never stop learning.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But England doesn't, like Expat, for me was a student time. I missed many things from Spain that moment when I was there. I was really missing all the time Spain. It was, I think, the first time where I had really missing feelings, Doesn't happen in nowhere. Just in England.
Yeah.
Just in England.
Yeah. Do you think it was also because of your age? Do you think if you went there a little bit older, it might have been a different...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sometimes I was feeling like someone is going to kick me. I had always the feeling I am not welcome in England.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not nice, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are not, you are not rubbish, but
Yeah. You're just not welcome.
even in the school or with the other people.
It's funny,
around.
isn't it, how societies and countries do that. I mean, it happens in many countries as well, like it really doesn't matter, I think. There's elements where you feel you're just not welcome. I've had that feeling.
Maybe it was that corner just because in Germany it happened exactly the same when I was living in Munich.
Really?
And yes, and I feel very well in Cologne. That I have my
Yeah.
house and my
Yeah.
family, my friends, and I feel totally integrated. But in Munich, I had a little bit the same feeling like I had in England. I was like not in the corner where my biorhythms, where my health, and I don't know. It doesn't make me happy. But it's many corners in the world give you that feeling.
Yeah.
And there are another corners that give you a better feeling.
You feel.
Normal.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like that every time I go to the United States, for example, I feel like I'm going home. And that's the strangest thing. I mean, I have no association to the United States. I mean, I was raised in Australia. Maybe there's similarities between the countries and cultures, but overall, there's no reason why every time when I get off the plane and I start getting involved in the society there, I just feel completely at ease. I really love being in America. It's such a strange thing. And I don't know why. I really don't. I can't explain it. I used to have to go to Texas quite a lot for work, and I'd love going to Texas and just seeing the big blue sky. It just reminded me of Australia and growing up where I grew up as a kid. It was just like, this is heaven.
I think the landscape is quite very similar.
It is in many ways, And Colorado, I loved Colorado. I just constantly, every time I go there, I just feel comfortable. And I know some people that can't stand going to America. They just can't feel safe or comfortable. There's something that they just don't like about it. But for me, New York, I went into New York now a number of times, and I go out at nighttime on my own, just walking through the streets, and I feel completely safe.
Me too.
I have no problem with it. Absolutely no problem.
Me too.
And I've never had a problem. Nothing has ever happened to me where I felt unsafe. So I don't know. I don't know whether it's something that you project as a person. Maybe if you have fear, maybe you project that fear and others pick up on it. It's like when you're with animals, animals sense fear and they react then differently to you. Perhaps it's the same. I don't know. But
no, yeah. I think you are right. I think people with you is reflecting from yourself. Many people say that, I always said, for me, it's not, I'm not depending where I'm going. It's depending of me
your attitude there.
If I am taking land, if I'm landing there where I'm going or not.
Yeah.
How many people you heard speaking about they make a travel or they was making holidays in many different German people, they are always making holidays in a huge, very far away countries, When they come back, they cannot tell you nothing. They cannot tell you a lot of experience. And I think people, you need to mix them more with the people there. Where are you going?
Oh, 100%.
And then this is give you the feeling to to be in that place. But if you still be in the hotel or just in
Yeah,
the
no,
area, you never will know a country.
No, you have to get out there and mingle with the locals.
But the people doesn't know because they are very comfortable in the it's a comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, they take it, just put it with sun and water.
Yeah.
But they still be doing the same all the time.
Yeah, I used to have to. I mean, I would often travel for business, and I would often travel alone. And even when I was traveling alone, I would always make an effort in a strange place or a new place. I would go to a local bar, or I would go to a coffee shop or somewhere where there was people.
Me too.
Like, there's no way I'd be sitting in my room. Just absolutely no way. Or even if I had to go out to eat, I would always eat in restaurants, even if it meant I was alone.
Yeah, but me too.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
But some people, they feel
Yes.
they don't feel comfortable eating in a restaurant alone. I'm like, what's the problem? There's nothing wrong with that. You've got to get out there, and you never know. You might actually meet some interesting people in the process. So
you do.
Exactly. Of course you do. So you just got to get out there and do it. So I think it's the way you approach it.
The first time I went to New York, I went alone as well. And when I remember I was in a bar, in that moment was the more important sushi bar in New York, named Tao. And someone said me, go there, it's amazing. And I was alone Saturday, coming in a rickshaw.
Yeah.
And then I was completely alone. And this was the reason how I couldn't come in because it was full. And the black guy on the door, he was just looking at me, and he feel I am from Europe. I said, I come from Spain, Europe, Germany. And please, I'm alone, the first time in New York, and I come in. And he said, oh, come on. Maybe it's a place there for you. And I got a little place on the bar, on the sushi cocktail bar, and I could eating some sushi and drinking a cocktail. It's amazing place, really. And it was 5 people next to me, and then 2 guys that was with the smoke. 3 was with the smokings, and the
smoking is tuxedo jacket, right?
And 2 girls was with a party dress, and they they give the bag. They come into. They was seeing I am alone there, and they ask me. Hey, hi, are you alone? And I say, I'm not alone. I'm by myself, with myself.
Exactly. Great answer.
And he was like, oh, nice. You know how the people are in New York. If they think you are nice, they are going to tell you. If they think you're wearing something new, nice, they are going to tell you. If they think you say something interesting, they're going to tell you. People in New York, they tell you what they think. If and they give you many compliments. They are very expressive. And with these people, that guy, they at the end they say, "Do you want to know New York?" I say, "Of course." Okay, come with us.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was all the night with
locals.
Guys, with locals, with a smoker in the best locals in New York until 7 o'clock in the morning on the next day. Yeah. And it was amazing. Yeah. And I remember the first night in New York, in that way, crazy. I have pictures from that night. And and this is when you are alone. Nobody can stop me. Because if you are going with friends or with somebody else, you have always to take care what they want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
What they want to eat. And if you're alone, you're free. You can do what you
do
want.
Whatever you want.
Nobody knows it. And I love that.
I'm with you 100% on that one. Yeah, I always preferred, especially when I was younger, I always preferred traveling alone because you could just do whatever you want. I heard so many stories of people when they were traveling together that they couldn't do something because the other person didn't want to. It's like, oh God, really? Come on. No, I go on my own. I do my own thing. Yeah.
And what are you feeling in Germany? Because you was speaking about Asia. And
yes.
What is now you feeling staying in Germany? Because how long are you staying in Germany, living here? 30 years?
Yeah, so no, 2013 is when I got back. Or when I say got back, is when I have lived in Germany full time. I first came to Germany in 1990. 93, I think it was, 92 or 93. I was very young. I just finished school, all my education. I came to Germany and I met a family here. I lived with a family here and worked on their property for a period of time, a short time, and grew a very strong bond with that family. We're still very close today. I'm very close with for me, they're like my second family. And it was there that I met my wife, now my ex-wife, but that's where we met. And it was great. So when we came back when we left Asia, we moved to Germany to it was a place in Niedersachsen, exactly. Mm-hmm. And it's in the countryside. I grew up in the country, so for me, I was quite okay to live back on the country. With my work now, it doesn't really matter where I live. I can pretty much be anywhere, so I can do everything. As long as I have an internet connection, I'm fine. So, yeah, we moved back to the area where we originally met, and I lived there for up until 18, so for almost 5 years. And then in 2018, I moved here to Cologne. So the difference for me moving from Asia to Germany was the fact that you're moving back into what you would consider a first world country, if you like. So the poverty levels, the crime levels, the corruption levels, all of that is kind of gone now. Or if it's there, you don't see it as obviously as before. And then the other challenge, I think, for me was the language, because I couldn't speak German very well when I got here in 2013. It was very poor. I'm not saying it's brilliant now, but it's certainly a lot better. And people that I speak with in German always compliment me on how good I speak it and how accent-free it is, but I'm still not really that happy about it. I think it can be a lot better. So for me, it was the language. And then the other thing that I noticed as well in this country is, and I say this with utmost respect to all of my German friends, is the bureaucracy. They'll probably agree with me, but it's a very bureaucratical country. Everything is by the book. Everything is rules. Everything has to be done that way. It's so very 1, 2, 3, no? 1, 2, 3. That's it. There's no other option. There's no other way.
This is what I told you before in the other podcast when I was speaking that I think you were speaking about the genetics.
Yeah.
It's like I remember that when I got the driving license in Spain. I remember the teacher in Spain that told me something about lights on the roads, and he said to us, if it's not the same, if a light is broken, doesn't work in Spain or doesn't work in Germany. And we was all, okay, why? And he said, if the light is broken in Spain, everybody knows what to do. And if it's broken in Germany, it's like, light broken, what do I do? It's like I think the people needs rules here to carry on, to work. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes it's a huge land, in many things it's we live in very easily here.
Yeah, we live
the
very,
life
very
is
well,
easy, it's comfortable, The comfort zone in Germany is not to sitting in the sofa or to be safe at home.
No.
The comfort zone in Germany means that you have 1 year calendar planning from January until February next year. And some people even 1.5 year planning in the calendar. This is a comfort zone for the Germans. If you get these people gone from the calendar, they are loose. They don't know how to react.
They're lost.
They're lost.
Yeah.
They're lost. This is the difference between some European countries. Even if you are living exactly the same or maybe better in Spain or Italy or Portugal, they are wonderful countries to live. More sun, food is much better, The only thing there, they don't have calendars. They don't follow the calendars like the Germans are.
Yeah.
And this is what for me is very difficult because the protocol, the private protocol is exactly the same. So difficult like the company protocol. That means you cannot go and ring by the people at 2:00 in the morning and say, "Hey, I need a beer." I don't know the new generation if they do that. I don't think so, because so long you are young, you do it, but after you are not more young, you follow the rules from your parents and in my opinion. And I don't know. For me, the more difficult thing is to follow the calendar, because I don't know if for example, maybe in Spain it's the same, but when I call the doctor, for example, I say, I feel very bad and I have pain in the ear. I say, okay, you can come end of the next week. Okay, maybe end of the next week, I don't have pain in my ear. I have, the pain is gone.
Yeah.
But you have to, and they really don't think when they say you have to make an appointment. I say, how I can make an appointment before I get ill? Is this way of thinking, it's make me sometimes very angry. So like, is how they can think in that way. And improvisation talents, they are not, and not so improved talents, improvising. The improvising way of life is not so high there, because it's always, everything is always working. That is the point, and even if they think it doesn't work, if you compare with other countries in Europe, in Germany works many things, but this is for me was very difficult, and it still be difficult, because in my character, in my way of thinking, is not this follow the rules or don't spring. I think the rules is
Don't jump
over the rules.
Yeah.
I think the rules are there to jump on there if it's necessary, like the money. The money is there to spend it when it's necessary to spend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's...
No, I don't disagree. And I think also, obviously
you
here...
disagree?
No, I don't.
No.
In Germany, everything here is very good. Like we said, life in Germany is good.
Yeah.
You live very well here. But I will say this, you pay for it.
Yeah.
You do pay for it. You pay a lot in taxes, and especially, and I can give you an example from my perspective, I have my own business. I started my own business. They don't make it easy for young people. Not young people, I'm calling myself a young person. Isn't that a classic? They don't make it easy for people starting new businesses to start new businesses. They don't give you any breaks or any leeways when it comes to the taxes you pay or any of those things. So the one thing that I noticed, and I didn't realize this beforehand, was had I known this, I probably would have registered my business in another country and moved and started in another country. But the taxes that I pay as a new business owner, trying to build the business and develop it, is huge. I have one other person working with me. I pay 2 salaries, myself and my business partner, my colleague. And just the taxes and the health insurance that you have to pay, it's insane. It really is insane. Every month I just think to myself, my God, don't they give young businesses or new businesses at least an opportunity to try to build some kind of base that they can then grow and move on from? So, but on the flip side, I also think maybe that's a good thing, because then that the businesses that succeed and that get through that process are good businesses. They're strong businesses. They have a model that works. So in many ways, we say in English, it sorts the wheat from the chaff, So maybe that is the benefit from such a system. Businesses that do survive that process or can get through that are often very strong. Like, they'll succeed. You know what I'm saying? And perhaps that's why industry in Germany and companies in Germany and even individuals are so successful, because it is a struggle from the beginning. They have to really, really work and commit themselves to something for the success or for something to work. So maybe there's a benefit from that. Maybe it works on the other side.
I am from the opinion, because in Spain is now, for example, people is expecting too much from the government that we have now. People is expecting too much money in every corners to help, from the government. They share money to help these people in a startup or this kind of enterprise, of this kind of business, and I think it's wrong.
Yeah.
Because you cannot start a business with the money from the other ones. It means, I think it's very important how the Germans people they do is not easy. You are right, but it's the only way to show that your business it's work.
Right.
And it's the best thing, because if it doesn't work, you close it, and then you don't have shoulders. Too much shoulders. You didn't too much shoulders.
Yeah.
And
Well, hang on. Wait. Shoulders? You mean schuld?
Schuld.
Yeah. So
schuld.
in debt.
Yeah, not shoulders.
You mean debt.
Yeah.
You don't walk away with debt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is, I think it's a healthy way to make business or to begin a business. You need to have a strong idea. You need to present a business plan and to see it's going to work.
Yeah.
And in Spain, normally you don't need a business plan. You just need a friend.
Yeah.
And you get the money, know, and then the business is a shit.
Yeah.
And this is the reason sometimes it's just not bad. But for me, it's cost a lot to live in Germany, but not in the way from the money, not in the way that you're working too much, because work is always very healthy. I see always work like a healthy thing. For me, the price is another price. It's the sentimental price. It's the healthy price. It's the serotonin price. It's the don't laughing price. It's for me. Is this the important thing? What I'm missing after over the years? I don't laugh so much. I don't have these moments that I have in Spain, or I had it, or how the people are there. I'm very naivish. How is naivish? When you naivish is anyway jealousy.
Jealous of the lifestyle from Spain.
Even just my family, when I call my sisters, they are drinking wine there, eating there, go out there, even in Corona.
So quality of life.
Yeah, and this is the price I pay. And of course, how I can say that, if you are from another country, like maybe Poland or Russia or Ukraine, or poor now with the problem, or I don't know, Letland, or countries where the lifestyle is more inside, they will never understand why I'm sometimes so unhappy here. They will never understand it, Even German people, sometimes they don't understand that. It's not the same to coming from Russia and to coming from Spain or Portugal. Or
no, it's not the same.
Because I think the south of country, part of Europe, is, for me, is the best. Maybe not 20 years ago I was thinking in that way, but now I know that it's the best place to live. And, we are living here now. Because we decide by ourselves, and we do our best to be here. We have German childs, we have German friends.
Yeah, I mean, you've built a life here now.
Yeah.
You have a whole history
But I'm
here.
lucky that I'm very near to the airport.
Yes.
And then
It's not just that. You can easily get back home to Spain
in 2
whenever
hours.
you want.
Yeah,
It's not so easy for me though.
Yeah.
Australia, it's a little bit further.
Yes.
Takes a little bit
But
longer.
Anyway, I always was missing a lot, and the problem is when you are so long out from your country, mother country, one day you lose the floor. This is what I said. You begin to idealize the past and the other country. Other ways you you are not happy here. It's like
Yeah, it's like the grass is always greener on the other side, right?
Yeah, and
It's
then
that old
one day
adage.
you lose the floor. One day you are not German, but you are not really Spanish because you spend so much time outside Spain, and this is the problem I have.
Is that how you feel?
What I feel is that I belong the earth. I belong the nature. I belong the landscape. I belong that the sea. This is the thing. I belong.
Yeah.
I cannot the food, the smell, everything, the taste from the things. I belong there. When I'm there, I could die there, and I'm in freedom.
You're totally happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem is sometimes you lose the friends. You don't have much friends, and I'm lucky because of the social medias, and most of my friends, they went to in a foreign countries, and we meet each other once or twice a year there, over there again, and all are very international persons like me, and I recover many friends from the past again now. It's very funny. I think we need that. I think we need all come to the rules, to be together again. I cannot explain you. When we are when I'm there, we are very happy to see each other.
Yeah, of course.
From people from the school time, and this it's like so nice. It's like I'm in my I don't know. It's like every time when I met someone from my past, I get like a warm coat on me.
Yep.
It's like
it's like I know what you mean. It's like how do you best describe it? Kind of like a comforting, almost like a memory. It's like bringing back feelings from your past that you can almost relive,
nice,
that are real with people that you know from the past.
Yeah.
That's one thing I notice as well. Obviously, as I said, being Australian, being so far away, I still have my friends in Australia that I have contact with now, and these are old friends of mine that go way back to school. And every time when I go back there, when we get together, it's like we've never been apart. It's like we can, even if we haven't seen each other for a number of years, we can always get together, and it's always like it's never changed. Like it's just everything just comes naturally. And so I know exactly what you mean.
Yes.
But I think from the other side as well, you've lived here now in Germany for 30 years.
More or less. Mm-hmm.
So you've built now also a network of friends here. Mm-hmm. You've built like your own community here as well. So you have that as well in that sense. It's not like you're missing that completely. You do have a very good friend network here, and a community of people that you interact with here.
Yes, and I'm a very social person. I always go a lot out, and I don't stay at home, and I travel here and there because of my business too. It's I have not a problem to socialize with people here. Nothing.
No,
it's just a more deeper feeling that Germany doesn't give to me. I never give it, and I think it's going never happen.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But when I'm out from Germany, I miss Germany.
Do you?
Yeah. I'm missing many things in Germany too.
So what is it that you actually miss in Germany then?
Sometimes it's easy, the routine, because it's very strange. You're missing this routine sometimes, At the end, you see we are animals from routine,
Yeah.
And the routine at the same time makes many things broken and kaput, It's like, And this is like a circle. Sometimes I'm missing the routine and more the material things like my house, my things. But now
that makes sense.
Yes,
I mean,
but now less. Always less. Always less, because I try to move many things over there. Because I need to do it now.
Over to Spain.
Yeah, I need to move things there, and to find there again my place. And this is what I'm doing at the moment, It's just not a holidays house.
No. Yeah.
It's like it's my second
like a second home. Yeah.
Because the people and the area and all and the sea give me that feeling.
Yeah.
That I'm there, that I'm coming. That is something I need to have now.
So do you think eventually that you will move back to Spain and live there permanently?
No.
No?
No.
So you'll stay in Germany?
No.
No.
No. I
Okay.
always was moving all the time. Even if I am in Germany since 30 years, I never stay in Germany longer than 5. I was always moving.
Yeah.
Germany was like my headquarters. I always come back to Germany because of the jobs and financial life that we have it here. But I cannot stay in a place for always, where I say moving there for always or something. You can just do it fiscally, you have to do it because you cannot. No? But I will stay in Germany as well. I just want to jump from there to there. I think it's a better way of life.
To have the freedom of choice, to be able to decide, I spend 3 months in Spain, or I come back and spend 6 months in Germany.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the optimal, isn't it? That's ideal. Yeah.
I below both worlds now,
Yeah.
And if I move to Spain all the time, I think I will never see my kids again because they are very Germans.
No, I don't think that's true. I'm sure they'll come and see you in Spain.
I don't know, but...
do you speak Spanish at home, right? You speak Spanish with your children. So they speak Spanish.
They are bilinguals, yeah.
Okay, so they would have no problem going to Spain either. Yeah.
No, they don't, but
No, I know what you mean. Their home is here. They've raised here. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That
they
makes
are not
sense.
going to move there.
No.
Stay with me.
Well, it's like my son. Like my son left Australia when he was 11 years old, 10 years old, and he hasn't lived there since, and he's now 27. So for him to go back to Australia and live would probably be a very strange thing.
Yeah.
So one of the things maybe that holds me back from going back there is the fact that I know if I go all the way there, I'll hardly see my son again.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's very difficult to say, okay, I go for always or for...
It is very difficult.
And to don't see my friends anymore and these things, I don't want that,
No.
because people stay with me near me so many years, and we are sharing so many experience of life, and I need them too. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay without my friends as well. No,
Yeah.
They are my family here because I have not family here. Families in Spain.
No, you have family here.
No, my family isn't. No, I have my family.
You have your family here.
But in Spain, Spanish persons, for us, family is not husband and kids.
Mm-hmm.
For us, family is husband, kids, mother, father,
sisters, brothers.
and uncle. Family is very big. It's another concept.
Yeah.
It's difficult to understand, but it's that way.
No, it's not difficult to understand. I know exactly what you mean. I think most people feel that way. But when you say you don't have family here, I guess what I was trying to say is you do have family. It's just not an extended family like you have back in Spain.
Yeah. But this. And this is what happened when you as expat goes and then spending long time in another country.
Yeah.
Did you lose identity? No.
Now that's a good question. Did I lose identity? It's a funny thing because when I think about my identity, I never felt like I identified as an Australian.
No?
Yeah, no. And I know that sounds really strange, and any Australian listening to this or any of my friends that might hear this might think, what the fuck's he talking about? But the reality is I grew up in a very... my father was Dutch, as I said before I think in the first session we spoke about this. And I grew up in a very European-centric household. So it wasn't typical Australian. I was raised in Australia. I grew up in Australia. But the whole time I never really identified as Australian, even as a child. And it's because the way my father raised me was very different to the way my peers or my friends were raised by their parents. I'll give you a good example. When I was a boy one time, I had to clean the pool the swimming pool, and I hated that job. It was a shitty job, and my father knew I hated it, so he came with me to make sure that I did it properly. I was maybe 13 years old or something. I was young, and I thought I would try to be funny and make a joke while he was there. So maybe after the first 10 minutes, I would go, okay, time for a smoko. Smoko, right? In Australia, smoko means it's time for a break.
Yeah.
We've worked so hard, it's time for a break. And that was only after the first 10 minutes. And I thought I was being funny, but my father, oh my God, no. He did not think that was funny at all. He said, time for a smoko? What the fuck are you talking about? You don't talk like that to me. I'm not fucking raising you to have that attitude. Every 10 fucking minutes you have a smoko. No. You might live in Australia, but you're not going to have that Australian attitude. I was like, holy shit. Okay. I was just trying to make a joke, but he really he did not appreciate that. He thought, no. So in that sense, but that's not to say that he didn't like the Australian way of life. Of course he did. He lived there for a long time, and he chose to emigrate there. So he left Europe to live in Australia.
And he died there.
He died there, of course. So he loved Australia, and he loved the Australian way of life and the culture. But I think what he wanted to make sure was that I didn't kind of have that. In Australia, we have this attitude as well, as she'll be right, mate. She'll be right, mate, which basically means, don't worry, it'll be okay. Right? So if something happens or if something goes wrong, it's kind of don't worry about it. It'll be okay. Well, sometimes it's not okay. And sometimes you need to put an effort in to make something right. And I think what he wanted to try to instill with us in that was, you don't have that it'll be okay attitude, because you have to sometimes make it okay. So I think that's why he reacted in that way. I can't say anymore because he's no longer with us. But yeah, that
is the reason how you don't have a norm identity.
Yeah, so I think that's probably one reason why I didn't find it difficult leaving Australia when I left and lived in Asia. And now I don't find it difficult living in Europe or in Germany, and I haven't lived back in Australia now for 16 years. So, I'm okay with it. I mean, I love going back. I love being there. But I also get a sense of, I feel also good with knowing that I can come back here. It's a strange feeling, I'm sure my mother would hate to hear that if she heard it. She's probably listening eventually, but yeah.
It's very strange, because I have a lot of identity like a Spanish person, and because I think it's because Spain is a very Spanish people, they are very proud about Spain. Even when they are there, they are always say Spain, we do that better, and outside is better. But if you move them, they are really, really proud. Everywhere where they are in the world, working in Mexico or in Argentina or in Switzerland, they are always make big communities, and they are very proud, and they cannot leave to be Spanish. They cannot stop to be Spanish.
Yeah.
And the identity is very. I think there are much countries in the world where they have a lot of identity. Spain had a very, very strong music culture.
Yep.
We have 3 different languages.
Yeah.
We have a huge cook tradition and culture too.
Yeah, culinary.
We have a very old land country.
Yeah.
With with a queen's families. We have a very strong landscape.
Yeah.
The landscape is fantastic. I think Spain is one of the most beautiful country in the world that you can find in not too much kilometers. So different landscape like volcans, snow, glaciers, seas, Sumpfgebiete, like a rice felder,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
rice.
Rice paddies.
Rice paddies.
Yeah. Yeah, you were telling me, right? Spain is actually the largest rice producer in the world.
Yes,
Which fascinated me.
more than Vietnam. I was thinking
insane.
was Valencia, and even it's not Valencia, it's Sevilla. It's the Albufera in Sevilla. They make so much, they produce so much rice.
It's crazy.
We are the most export from fish as well, I think, after Japan.
Well, that makes sense given...
Yeah, and fish culture, and the best restaurants in the world, or the best, I think, at the moment, is the Spanish one.
Yeah.
And in the list, the 12 after that, 2, more or less. We have a very strong music culture, very strong, from Celtic culture until flamenco and painters, literature. You're reading now El Quixote, you know.
But I think that's
that gives you identity.
I agree with you. I agree, and I think that's not just in Spain. It's many European countries. They have that old traditional. They have history.
Yeah, Italy people is very proud from Italy. Portugal, for example, if you ask one Portuguese people, they always say, ¿Cómo es Portugal? How is Portugal? And they always will answer all the same. They answer Portugal o melhor do mundo. Das Beste der Welt.
Yeah, the best of the world.
Yeah, the best of the world. Yeah. They say, you know, this is the reason. Even when I have been in Brazil, living there, in Brazil there is on the north of Brazil, there is an island called Fernando de Noronha. Fernando de Noronha is a paradise, you know. And when you see people is coming from Fernando de Noronha, and you ask where you are coming from, they say, I come from the paradise. You know, it's very proud. It's very Mexicans. Mexicans are so proud from Mexico. Is beautiful. It's a chaotic, chaotic country. Some parts really shit country, but the culture is strong culture, strong artists, a lot of artists, color country, smelled country, food country, you know, many different landscapes. They are really strong countries, it's not economically strong, what we have, we...
culturally strong.
We are culturally very strong, and I think we care less the money and more the culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
which is how it should be.
Yeah,
I think
of
in
course,
many ways,
of course. I think it's very good in that way. It's very good, and this is, I feel very Spanish because of that.
Yeah.
Of course, when you are 18 and 19 and in the university and this student side, you are not Spanish. You are international. You know, you want to be in everywhere, and it's normal. We need to discovery and. You feel.
Yeah. So I think it's fair to say the difference essentially between you and I is that you still have very strong association and roots towards Spain, towards your home country. I say home country, I say maybe mother country. Whereas and that's because you were raised obviously with Spanish parents, and everything was very Spanish. In my case, I was raised with a Dutch father, an Australian mother. And I had a very, I guess you could say, a dominant father. Like, he was a very strong man. So everything he did was basically his way in that sense. So if he was going to raise you in a European household, that's how you were going to be raised. And that's why I think maybe my attitude towards Australia is a little bit different. But I still love Australia. It's a beautiful country. There's a lot of beautiful things there, and I can appreciate everything about it. Whether or not I live back there, I don't know. Who knows? I just don't know. Yeah.
So, and I think we was have a nice talk about how we are feeling now here.
Yeah.
I think we are going to maybe finish and do cooking something.
Finish this one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to cook something Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
It's not something Spanish. It's more, I have it from my Portugal nanny. I have a nanny from Portugal at home.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she was always cooking.
Ah, really?
For
when
us.
you were growing up?
when I growing up in a very big house,
Yeah.
600 square meters, I told you, and
Yeah.
in the same time was what we were living there, maybe 11 or 12 persons.
Yeah, right.
I told you all the
Yep.
time.
Yeah,
And this is like growing up in a big house with many people.
yeah,
And I have my grandfather's parents there. They died there as well.
Yeah.
I was seeing how they die. I was in the next
Yeah.
room when they die.
yeah,
You know, and
Wow.
now this house belongs to me and my sister.
yeah.
And it's a house full of history.
It's great that
and
you still have it.
yeah, it's about, part of the house is about more than 350 years old.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Beautiful.
And yes, if you go inside, you can feel all the geists and spirits.
Yeah, the
everywhere
ghosts,
in
yeah.
the ghost.
Yeah.
Everywhere. It's
That's
a
great.
very huge feeling there in the house.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, well then let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's get some food happening, and we will catch you in the next episode. Thank you for watching or listening.
Yes.
And what are we going to talk about next time? Any ideas?
I don't know exactly. We have to watch
We'll have to think
our
about it.
list. We have to think
Okay.
about
We
it.
have a list, but we'll
Yes.
come back to
And
it.
we have, now we see the public people is watching us. We have podcasts to put on.
That's right. We've already
Yes,
recorded
we are
two that
going-
are still not
we
live,
recorded it for last year.
which
and-
will go live eventually.
Yeah, sorry.
They will go live.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
will go live, and there is broken now. It's okay. The camera is again.
Oh, they've both gone.
It's okay. And okay, we see the camera like in TV, and we are hanging on live. We are put it on live in the next week.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
We try to record more that we do it together, and the other teams you will see, they are not so funny like these ones, but they are, I think, a good teams
Well,
to,
you know,
to hear
Yeah.
to hear
definitely.
about. And yes, we will speak it next time. I don't know really what. We check it in the list.
We will check it on our list.
Yeah, I
Okay.
cannot think because I'm hungry.
Yeah, that's okay. I understand. Let's cook some food. All right.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.